Do we have improvements coming to the game? We're going to get to that more based on what Second Dinner has put out in a survey. We're going to look at that, comment about what they've got in there and what we could potentially see coming. If you're unaware, there is a survey in game. Go to your news section. It's not on the PC, hence the reason that I'm doing it here, and go to the July survey and take it. The long and short of this survey is Second Dinner, Marvel Snap, Newverse is trying to figure out where are we as a community with certain things in game. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter. They really sort of incorporate everything that they see on their Discord and their Twitter, all the social media platforms, Reddits, etc. This is one way to do it, and maybe they'll send us I don't know, a couple hundred credits or something. I went through this. Generally speaking, I will say I think that they're trying to make the game better. They care about making the game better, which I think is something that's really important given some of the other games I've played and seen and they've just fallen on their faces, etc. Obviously, they have a general overall satisfied, unsatisfied. I gave it a 7. I had it as an 8 before, but the reason is because I wasn't sure between that and the next question was about recommending to a friend or colleague. And most of that has to do with some of the card acquisitions, even though I think right now the card acquisition, and I still got to do my own math, but an early person playing the game, how patient will they be? I like the idea of learning the cards, but some people aren't that patient. So you've got to make sure that you're giving them enough to do in game to be excited about and not just get to say Series 3 and start getting smashed by people. There has to be some sort of, I'll call it events, missions, or something for them to not just pound their head against another player who smokes them, but something to do. I'd love if there were sort of AI type missions where it was like, move through this mission and use these different types of cards. And if you can properly get through here, you've won the mission and you've freed the Guardians of the Galaxy from, Ronin's control, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. And you know, it'd be cool if those gave you small little prizes too, especially as you're building up in game, or it might be a way to shortcut getting some Series 3 cards early on. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Free Guardians of the Galaxy and you get, I don't know, Gamora or Drax or anybody who's a Series 3 card. So for that reason, I had it ranked kind of a, 7, 8. I generally like the game, and this is coming from somebody who's not even a card player traditionally. Then they just asked about your awareness of certain things in game. Obviously, as a content creator, I was aware of all of these. So this shows me that they're trying to see exactly what type of level players are. Then they started asking about how satisfied you are with things. First was weekend missions. I personally said not satisfied at all. I'll get into the reasons later because they actually ask you. Premium mystery variant, the golden one in the shop. I'm kind of neutral on that one. Again, I'll get to it later, but the long and short of it is that, it's there for people who are already spending is the way I look at it, which is great. It's good for them. I'm happy for them. But for me, I'm not at the point where I have enough built up gold where I can just get variants. I want to get there at some point, but I'm just not there yet. The daily offer rewards, I'm pretty good with those. I think it's solid. It helps you progress. It's not anything great or bad. Ranked mode changes, the 7 cubes per tier and 3 bonus ranks. I'm basically satisfied. It feels a little quicker. I don't know if it really is or not, but I think that's fine. There's nothing that's really crazy there. Spotlight caches. Now, I said somewhat unsatisfied with this. The reason that I'm satisfied with it, or semi-satisfied, is that I think that we are getting more cards than before, but obviously the dupe protection thing, they've improved if it is a duplicate, you get tokens instead of just like a random variant. So that does help. I tied this also with the regular cash system reserve still. That's the part where I'm just like, this is just blah. Like, it is just not fun to open those at all. I know this is a little bit different, but I sort of link them together. I've seen a lot of math out there. Generally speaking, the spotlight cash system, if you plan appropriately, is good. But again, the somewhat unsatisfied part is, what about the people who don't plan well or don't know to plan well? Custom cosmetics per deck, avatar title, etc. I said somewhat unsatisfied. I actually want them to be truly custom. Not just that I can pick A, B, or C, but on my card, I want to be able to pick anything I've unlocked with that card. If I've got a crackle on it on one version, I've got an inked on another version, then I want to take each one of those, and maybe I've got an infinite border. I want to take all 3 of those and combine them into one. I don't want to be like, well, I didn't get that one version exactly how I wanted it, so I have to re-roll it now and re-roll it and reload it, because the options are just, it takes forever. So I'd really like to be able to get it so that if I've built up Shang-Chi 4 times, and on one version I've got the crackle, on one version I've got the ink, and on another version I've got the right border, that I can take each one of those and solidify on the one card that I want and that I can showcase. Otherwise, the cosmetics, the titles, card backs, it's fine, but it's just like without what I just mentioned, not really what I'm looking for. Conquest mode, I'm pretty cool. I like it. I think it's fun. You know, I think there could be some slight improvements maybe with like some time, but I'm not sure. I mentioned this in an older video. I'm not sure exactly how they do that without making it so that it's too quick, you know, but generally I'm satisfied there. What are the main reasons why you're not satisfied with the weekend missions? It's too difficult and to complete sometimes. I like Phoenix Force. It's a deck I enjoy playing. And there are times where it's just like, okay, I didn't have time Friday. I didn't have time Saturday, and now it's Sunday, and I need to get 15 wins with this deck, and it's just, good Lord. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is not, no, like I'm not able to do this right now. All my matchups are just not working. The type and quantity of rewards was another thing you could option on into here. I think that they do feel pretty weak, honestly. I know the economy, if they give us too much of something, but I think maybe with the gold or the credits, they could boost those up a little bit. I mean, I understand they might want to control the tokens a little bit to sort of keep us within a certain realm of tokens, but also if we get a bunch of tokens and get the new cards, there's still ultimate variants to buy and all these other things we could potentially get with tokens. The last part was the missions not inclusive of all players. I do wish that there was a way that I'm fine with having some for the season pass, like have that one be exclusive, but there are times when it's like the new card, and if you have the new card, you get 200 tokens. It's like, okay, that's literally nothing. And that's not going to be a reason to buy a card. But there should be some additional ways to get, I think, something there. Maybe some tokens for a different card, or I don't know if it's a random card or something, but a way to get it so that some free to play can get a little bit more. I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't know how I really feel strongly about it, but so this is the part where it asked about the I'm not satisfied with the custom cosmetics. I clicked other and I just said that they feel underwhelming. You know, outside of the Conquest Infinite border, there aren't really any cool E-flexes. And I'm going to get into this in a different video, but when I played League of Legends, and if any of you out there have played that, League of Legends, they've got seasons, they've got ranks, everything you buy is cosmetic. I mean, yes, you buy new characters as they come out. Generally, as you play enough, you will be so caught up that as soon as a new character is released or multiple ones are released, you can get them for spending no money. You have to spend money to catch up, but if you keep playing, you don't have to spend any money to get the new ones out there. And then that way you're just left to spend money on cosmetics, which if the game is fun enough and you can use it as an E-flex or, oh my gosh, you have that one, that's so cool. It's obviously Riot's doing pretty well. Then the next one was the spotlight caches. Like I said, I don't like the type and quality of the rewards. There's also, it's slow. I think that you can't get enough of them. You need people to feel like they can do things more often. If you're waiting once a month to open 4 boxes, that is not going to keep people around. The season or the regular reserves, nobody cares about those right now. They are not opening those for any excitement. They need to change. You need people to be here, not just to play the card game, but to be excited and get those like adrenaline rushes as they open something, to think they're going to get something good. And doing that once a month or even once a week, if you're somebody who just opens it as you get it, it's not gonna cut it. And then obviously the biggest problem I've had with this was the lack of agency. Personally, I still like what I got. I'm good with everything in game right now. Like I've got almost all of the cards. The only cards I'm missing are ones that I don't really care about. I think one that's most valuable that I don't have is Negasonic. That should tell you where I'm at in game, right? So I'm okay. And I've got like 20,000 tokens. So I've spent pretty smart. I've got most of the cards and I've done okay. But I still think for some players and some lack of agency there, I get. Now, again, I'd like for it to get to the point where it's like, you know, I'm just into cosmetics and I really want to get that cosmetic. But I think for some people, they get frustrated with that agency. It's not the worst, but that isn't a concern. And then it asks for the token shop updates. Again, I'm aware of all these as a content creator. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you are as well. I'm not going to focus on those. And then the next part was how satisfied are you with the token shop updates? I was pretty good with it. I'm good. Flexible card series release, meaning that they release series 4 cards as opposed to everything being series 5. In a glass case, in a silo, I enjoy that. Related to not having series drops anymore, but that's going to change, I think, once they get a decent pool 4 and 5 built up. Like the amount of cards. So then that's exactly that point, the flexible card series drop. I said unsatisfied of that, but I could see myself being more satisfied with it. But right now we don't know. They have not communicated with us that this is going to be something that's happening in the future, or once they get the pool 4 and 5 built to 35 cards, that then they're going to do a scheduled release and these are going to be the next month worth of cards. That way people can plan. Like I just bought Jeff. I just bought Darkhawk with tokens. If those 2 cards
drop to Series 4 or Series 3, I'm going to be so angry. I'm going to be like, are you kidding me? But yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to get them and let's move on. But generally speaking, that's how people will feel. Choose your card, the free Series 3 thing. I'm very satisfied with this. I think it's great. I think actually for Series 3 incomplete players, depending on how they do the track and everything, I think it should be reasonable to be 4 to 5 months for somebody to catch up on Series 3 or be close to Series 3 complete. I think that's a total reasonable thing. So if they don't have that in game right now, and I can't say that I know for certain, I would then adjust and maybe look at 2 Series 3 cards free per month, at least maybe for your first couple months, or maybe for your first month, you give someone a free Series 3 card each week. And then in month 2, you give it every other week. And then month 3, do the same thing, and then maybe just once a month. So that way you kind of wean them off it, you know? That's kind of how things work sometimes. The purchasable mystery Series 3 cards for 1,000 tokens. I think given the new thing that they've got now, I hate this. Nobody should be spending tokens on this. Tokens are so valuable. No. Nobody should be encouraged to do this at all. Said, what are the main reasons you are not satisfied with the token shop? Series 3 complete, and I have limited access to choose your card. That's certainly me, and I can see where people think that. It's too difficult to acquire tokens. Yeah, I mean, I can't do much with the token shop at this point, but I'm generally a hoarder in a lot of games because I know that I need to think about when they might do something, so I plan accordingly. And so, you know, I'm okay, but it's no problem. Uncertainty about when cards are going to drop. Already mentioned it. It makes it so that I don't know if what I'm spending is going to be worth it or not. Like I said, if Darkhawk drops soon, 3,000 tokens just gone, wasted. Because you know what? I don't have any Series 3 cards for free that I can pick, and now I'm in a perfect opportunity to use it, and now I can't. The price of token bundles, too high. I do think that some of the offers that they've got in game are very, very expensive. I'd love to see them get some more microtransactions, but I think that the only chance we're going to get those in game is like $3 variants, $4 variants, stuff like that. I don't see them having a great $10 tokens deal. You're seeing $100 for, you know, almost a Series 5 and a whole bunch of, but basically a Series 5 because of the credits you get a spotlight. It's almost like 2 Series 5. That's a lot of money, 50 bucks a card. I don't know. But again, you got to have the game survive. And if they don't make profits, that's not going to survive. The token prices of Series 3, 4, and 5 are too high. Yes and no here. I mean, look, this is all subjective based on whatever their economy is. Right now, I do think it's too high. But if they make it too easy to get too many cards, then it's not going to work. I would love to be able to spend my tokens on ultimate variants. There's no planet that I'm going to be able to do that. All right? Even as a light to medium spender, the only people I see doing that are your super tech gods, your 617s, your Dexters, your high-end whale type endgame players who've been playing for a long, long time. I want to be able to look at one of those go, I love that ultimate variant so much that I'm okay spending 5,000 tokens on it because I have enough that feels good. I'd love to be able to buy one ultimate variant a month without worrying too much about my card acquisition. Ask if I've changed playing. I personally have, and I'm still playing just as much as I have before. And then it talks about how much you value certain things. Collector's tokens, a lot. Spotlight caches, a lot. I mean, these two and one other thing we're going to talk about in a second, they're the highest value in the game in my mind because of getting your cards, obviously, which is your most valuable. Avatars, I don't have the borders of avatars. I don't value this that much at this point. You know, I don't have an infinite border yet. I don't think I'm going to get one this season. I've not been playing gold enough. Seriously, I've been testing decks out more than anything. And honestly, I'm a snap scrub, so I'm still trying to get good. But so for me, I don't value it. I think it's super cool, and I love the E-flexes, but it's sort of like, I think they should also have some E-flex avatars too. Card backs, I say neutral, but I kind of like the card backs. I think they're cool. I loved the Spider Ghost one. That was awesome. Mystery variants, I don't put much value in these because of the chance that you're going to get a pixel. It's just kind of like, look, you know, I don't know what I'm going to get out of this. If it was $2, $3, I'd probably buy almost every single one of them, depending how often they were out. But for $5 and 500 credits, I don't know if I'm going to ever do that. Titles, I don't value them at all. I just don't. I don't care about them. I don't even use one. Avatars, same thing. Don't use an avatar. I still use a default. Alternative art variants like chibis or the named. I do think these are valuable. I like these variants. I think they're cool. I love building them up because typically they have better artwork on them as far as the animated version goes. And I think they're cool to show and you get reactions from people in game. I enjoy that interaction. New cards. Clearly that's the highest value you can have in this game. It's a card game. You better be valuing cards a lot. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Conquest medals, I actually said I don't value that much. And I don't know if they ask later, but the main reason is because the shop's not very good. There's not that much stuff in there that's like all that exciting. Conquest tickets. Yeah, I know that's contradictory to what I just said, but I do enjoy playing the later modes more for a competitive reason than to get something out of the shop. Premium mystery variant, golden, question the shop again. I somewhat value. I think I said earlier I didn't value that, but it's, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to get it, but great. Gold, that's the other one I was going to mention before. I absolutely value that a lot. Credits to get spotlight caches. Yes, I value that a lot. Totally. You need them to get what you need. Boosters, not really, because I can play and get those. You know, so when I see those booster packs, not super interested in them. I don't think that, I'm like, why are you selling these at all? What would make you value titles more in the future? Now, I picked if they were linked to achievement system, because again, e-flexing. The other one is if there were cosmetic set bonuses for collecting all titles from a theme. Yeah, because it's an e-flex. If I knew how rare title was, an E-Flex. If I have the E-Flex, that's what's going to make me feel like, oh, this is cool. I want to show this off. The other ones they have in here were, if they were customizable, like 2 title slots, I was like, not really. If there was a shareable collection album for an old title, again. And then others, like, I don't know. To me, it's always going to be about an E-Flex when you've got cosmetic type stuff. You want to be able to show things off. Rank system, I'm pretty satisfied with it. I think it's fine. Monetization model, I said somewhat unsatisfied, mainly because it's just like keeps changing. And it's like, right now it seems to be okay. I just watched a Jeff Hoogland's video where he went through some of the math. I haven't done my own personally because I'm seeing how much things are changing. I'm like, well, is this the real one or is it not? Like, because right now I know we get more cards, but I don't even know if this is the final monetization model. It seems like you can get almost all cards for about $60 a month for whales. As far as a game goes, $60 a month is not a whale. Now, like in other games I've played, whales were considered like 10,000 plus US dollars per month that they would spend on games. People would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on games. Snap is one of the reasons I love this game, is because they don't have that. It's not like that. So that's where I'm like, I want to be careful how I tread here, because I don't want this to turn into one of those. If I can spend $60 a month on this game and basically be card complete and start getting into like cosmetics, I am a happy camper. And if you can't spend that much a month on your hobby, look at $10 US dollars a month and maybe just get the season pass. You just want to be free to play, that's cool too. You can still get, 60 to 70% of the cards if you play right. Card acquisition system, I said neutral. Again, I've mentioned it throughout the video, but I just think there needs to be certain things that are done quicker, a little bit easier. I like the 4-month time frame to catch up so you can learn the metas, etc. Because if you get in that end game too quickly, you're going to get absolutely stomped. Balance between the experiences of pain and non-pain. I actually am good with this. I was actually watching Alex on stream the other night, and he had some pay-to-win card. I can't remember. I think it might have been Jeff or Legion. I don't remember. It was some new card or some like pay-to-get card, and he was losing and having a bad night. And he goes, man, I've got all these pay-to-win cards. How come I'm not winning? And that's the thing with this game, is it's not really, and I'm going to get tons of comments below, and that's fine, but it's not pay-to-win. It's not. Like, it still takes skill to beat your opponent. You can have regular decks and still win. You can have a full Series 3 deck and win. You just need to know when to snap. You need to know when to retreat. That's it. You got to know when to do those things properly. If you disagree with me, let's go. Social experience, I actually said somewhat unsatisfied. If it wasn't for Discord, if it wasn't for Twitter, the in-game social interaction is extremely limited. They talk about guilds and stuff. We'll get to that in a second, but the social interaction is basically just one-on-one. I can't make friends in game or anything like that. I can't make a group of people I can continually play with unless I send a code outside a game. Be nice to be able to have that be a little bit more camaraderie in game. And then they've got some new features, which I found interesting. Obviously, based on what I just said, the ability to join a clan or guild. I think that'd be awesome. How would we work together? I'm open to seeing what they could have. Again, they could have E-Flexes. We're the top ranked clan guild in the game. We did this, or we're the second ranked guild and we did this, or we as a guild, we beat this PvE type mission where it's not playing against other players, but it was some sort of like, I don't know, raid type thing. I don't know how you do that in a card game, but just throwing ideas out from other games I've played. I skipped over the character by lore stuff. Look, if I want to know about character lore, I'll go outside a game and do that. But I would love an achievement system. Things that I've done. I've won 10 games in a row on the ladder. That's an achievement. Way to go. Like, that's so cool. So I've got some cool E-Flex. I've got some rare thing. That's great. Or I can just show, like, I've gotten 100 out of 100 achievements, which means something. Idle clicker. No, I've done those things before. I'm not looking for that in this game. Variant collection reward bonus. I didn't click this one, but mainly because I was limited. It's not a bad idea. Smart deck building. No interest. I don't care. Like, no, given how the AI plays in this game, maybe they do it a certain ways on purpose with ego, etc. But I do not want the game picking my deck for me. I wouldn't mind if it had a suggestion. Hey, what card do you think I should do here? But honestly, like, don't spend time on that right now. There are way other more important things, in my opinion. A new game mode that requires coordination with players. This is the thing I was talking about with, you know, maybe a PvE type situation or a mission situation where we're working together to do something in game. You know, hey, each of you can bring 3 cards. You know, each player has to have 1 cost, 3 cost, and 5 cost. And one player is allowed a 2, 4, and 6. And that's it. You know, and that's, you can have 3 people and you've got to be able to beat this raid boss together and be able to do it. And it's just sort of like somehow you could work together to beat that thing, whatever it is. Again, I don't know how they do that, but I think something like that would be really, really cool and be enjoyable. And it can be with your clan or your guild, or it can be random where you don't have to meet up with people. It's just like, I'm going into this. Now, you get tough situations with that sometimes, but again, if you've played League of Legends, sometimes you get bad matchups. It is what it is. Draft mode. This is probably one of the most popular things people are talking about. I think it'd be great. I think it should be very, very high on their list. There's not much more to say than that, other than I am a little worried about how long it would take. That's one thing with these games is time. If they get more and more time sinks into the game, I don't ever want to feel too much like I have to do something. And then the last one was the show history of the previous moves in a game. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing on my game. My kid asked me something. What's up? Come back. Oh, they did Yondu. What did it destroy? I have no idea. No idea. Or like in a conquest match, I'll be playing so many in a row. I'm like, wait, was this the person that had Doom, or was that the last match? I don't remember. You know, so it'd be nice to be able to see some things like that. And then they had an optional feedback where I'll read you guys what I have in here. So I said, regular reserves need to be more exciting fun. I mentioned it before. You got to have more reasons to go into those per month, whether it's spotlights or reserves, where you're excited to do something or open something. It's right now, it's just not. You also need more incentive during season for folks to want to play/rank up. So somebody hits infinite. After that, if you're not a content creator, you don't care about ladder other than just playing the game here and there and doing your mission. Conquest, you're building up all month for that last week of infinite. That's actually pretty good because I think most people are going to want to try to get that infinite border, but some high-end game players who get it really easily, they might not. So maybe they need some sort of incentive there. I don't know what it is, but they need something. And then I was saying, think about a variant reward based on your final season standing. And this is what I was talking about a little bit with League of Legends too. And this is the idea, is you can have it ranked and in Conquest. You can have it in both. You reach level 5. So in ladder, you get to infinite. And when you get there, it's not just a card back, but it's also some rare something card, variant, etc. If you get to 90, it's a step down from that. If you get to 80, it's a step down. Or more likely in Conquest, it's not just the infinite border, but maybe there's something else that you could get there. Or in another game mode, if you get to this tier, you get this cool thing. If you get to this tier, you get this cool thing. In League of Legends, if you get to a season rank, the next season, you see something super cool around your border every time you load into a game all season. Where you're like, oh man, I got someone with gold or plat or anything, diamond, whatever that you've gotten to. And you go, I've got that for the entire season. So the whole season you're working to get just that border around for a like 7-second queue. And it's like, oh, what rank are you? What rank are you? What rank are you? You showed off. It's an E-flex. That's what people want to do. And so I think something like that where I said, like, you reach level 5, this rare thing, level 4 is a little bit less rare. Level 3 is a little less rare. That's the idea here. And it could be just exclusive for that season as well. So if like, maybe it's not a silver border, a gold border, platinum border, but maybe there's a variant that if you get to this level, that variant is only available in that season. And if you get there, you got it. So that's like, oh, you got to, you know, that season rank and that time. So you got the wave variant of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I did, because I'm awesome. Thank you. So this video is probably already going to be about 20 minutes long, so I don't want to go on any further, but I'd love to hear from you guys what you thought of the survey. Have you taken it? What improvements would you make to the game? I do think Second Dinner is looking at making the game better, which I want to give them credit for. I like that. I love when they do things along those lines. They've got to keep the game fresh for us. Otherwise, we will get bored and potentially move on or just straight up quit. If you want to help support this channel, please consider hammering down that like button or joining on YouTube. That helps to financially support the channel. And if you want to share with aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, always appreciate that. Until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.